This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to this epic disaster.
Don't do that.
I'm Red.
No, you're not. You're not Red.
Changing my name to Red.
Please don't. Oh, God. Stop.
I want to be a Red.
Why?
I don't know. That's just kind of, I don't know, kind of a cool name. No, not really, but kind of. Red.
So I have a joke about that.
Red.
There's a Viking and his name is Red.
Uh-huh.
He's looking out the window one night.
I've heard this joke, but go ahead.
He says, I think it's going to rain.
Uh-huh.
His wife says, how do you know?
Uh-huh.
He says, because Red knows rain, dear.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I've heard it a billion times.
But I love it a lot.
The joke that I heard, and I've heard that version too, but the joke that I have heard that he's Russian, and his name is Rudy.
Huh?
He's Russian.
And his name is Rudy?
Rudy the Red. Remember, that's how they used to call the Russians the Reds. Rudy the Red knows reindeer.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah. That's the one I heard.
It's wrong.
But anyway, I could be Red. Red.
Let's drink.
Red.
Let's drink some beer.
Let's drink some red
Please
beer.
stop with the red already.
What are we drinking?
We are drinking.
Oh, I should say hi, everybody out there. This is This Epic Disaster. The podcast that can't even introduce itself correctly.
Thank you for joining us.
We are a disaster even at introducing our own selves.
We're not good.
And it's 2019. It's a brand new year. You would think we would do some things right. And also, that freaking light is right in my eyes.
Well, let me fix that for you.
We changed that when we were doing our video. Remember the video we did? If you haven't seen the video, we did a video about what was our video about?
Santa's butt.
It was about Santa's butt. We drank Santa's butt, and we made a video.
We did.
If you haven't seen it, go to.
Now it's in my eyes. Stop
well,
it.
I'm trying to fix it. Just go look and find it. I think it's on the Facebook page.
It's on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep. So today, however, we are drinking not Santa's butt.
No.
But
someone else's butt.
Atlanta Brewing Company's Kentucky Beer Dad.
Beer Dad.
It's called Beer Dad.
For some reason, this just feels like a setup.
Well, it could be a little bit, but first, let's try this beer. I'll tell you, it's a Buffalo Trace barrel-aged lager wine.
Okay.
Buffalo Trace is a really good bourbon.
Okay.
And it says it's in collaboration with, I can't read that, Max Lagers.
Okay.
And I can't read the rest. But basically, this is going to be good. It's a bourbon barrel-aged lager, which we like a lot. And this is specifically Buffalo Trace aged.
And it's Atlanta beer, Atlanta Brewing Company. It's nice kind of, the illustration on the cover reminds me of sort of the old Chinese drawings, sort of Zen kind of drawings.
You can already smell how yummy it is.
I haven't smelt it or dealt it. I haven't even opened up mine yet. Ooh, I just splattered it all over the screen of the computer. Do you have a cloth? Can I borrow your cloth for a second?
Certainly.
I got some
Take a
beer
cloth.
on
That's what you get for shaking your beer up.
I didn't shake it. I got some beer on the keyboard, and I don't want to damage the electrics here. Hold on. We might just actually destroy the podcast.
Well, if we don't have this specific laptop, we can't do the podcast.
No, because all this stuff is on here. All right, I'm pouring mine in.
Okay.
To my glass. It is, what would you call this? This is kind of a dark, it's not really, really dark, but it's a darker kind of beer.
Yes, it's a probably, I don't know, the color of a dark lager. So again, it's not porter, stout, dark. It's just a dark lager, like a brown ale, if you will.
Did you already drink some of yours?
I have not. I'm simply enjoying the aroma.
Maybe it's the glass. I was going to say mine, I have so much more than you.
You have a smaller glass than I do.
Okay. I failed physics. I don't understand how all that works. You just drank yours? How is it? Uh-oh. You're doing like chicken wing flap things. I don't know what that is.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
It smells kind of candy.
it's not short on flavor.
Oh, no, it's not. Whoa.
It's definitely got the flavor.
Yeah.
Savor the flavor.
That's an interesting flavor, too.
So again, this beer is called Beer Dad.
I'm a little discombobulated today.
Are you?
Yeah, I feel kind of weird. I feel like, I don't feel like I got all my shit together. I don't feel like I know what's going on. I feel like I left something behind.
Well, because we're drinking Beer Dad,
Yeah.
throughout the podcast,
No.
I will be telling dad jokes.
I'm taking this beer back. That's not even fair. Why would you set everything up like that? I kind of had a feeling that there was some weird thing going to happen like that.
I think this is a good one. I took 2 Disney DVDs and wrapped them up with string, and I put them in the freezer.
Frozen?
They were tangled and frozen.
Oh. That's just barely a joke.
You're right.
Barely.
Okay, so
Barely.
how's this one instead?
No, it's
This
just
one
as bad, I'm sure.
Is a shout out to the people who are wondering what the opposite of in is.
Shout out. Oh, man. I don't understand why you want to subject us to these, but all right. I think the listeners enjoy them. I sure hope they do. But for those who don't enjoy, maybe they enjoy some Zapmondo.
Maybe they will.
Let's play a little Zapmondo, which
All
we
right.
play at every show. Zapmondo is a game of Would You Rather. So what we do is we toss some stones. We have some different color stones here. We toss them. Whatever color lands down, a little bit like Trivial Pursuit, you get a question, and it's a Would You Rather question. Mm-hmm. And it's fun.
Okay. So each color corresponds to a category.
You are tossing them today.
I'm going first.
You are going first.
And I get a red stone.
Toss the red. Your first toss of 2019.
It's a red
It
one.
is a red one, which is pain, fear, and discomfort,
Of which I have all of them.
and which the dad jokes bring to me. All right. Would you rather use your own already used toilet paper? Off to a good start here.
Not really.
Or tissue already used by someone else?
Well, I would absolutely already use my own tissue.
Can I just ask, is there anyone in the whole world that would want to use someone else's toilet paper?
And would choose to over their own?
Why? I don't understand that question.
That question really doesn't make any sense.
Now, it says use your own already used toilet paper or tissue used by someone else. So maybe the other person is...
Oh, maybe they mean
theirs
like a
is
Kleenex.
Yeah, maybe theirs is Kleenex. Yours is toilet paper.
I see.
Would you rather use someone else's used tissue or your...
Used toilet paper.
I don't think it would change my answer, but... All right. I didn't give an answer, but I think it's...
Well, my dad... Okay, story time.
Uh-oh.
When I was little, my dad used to carry a white handkerchief.
Okay.
All the time.
A lot of men used to
because
during that time.
he used to blow his nose
Well,
into the white handkerchief all the time.
50s, men were rarely without white handkerchiefs. Yeah. When I was a kid, my grandparents always used to give us that for Christmas. Mm-hmm. How many 8-year-old, 10-year-old kids do you see walking around with a white handkerchief? Yeah.
Especially an embroidered handkerchief, which I was given.
A woman tried to cross a mud puddle. You pull it out and shake it and put it down for her.
No. But he would give me that to blow my nose on.
And then take it back?
After he had already blown his nose on it.
I think you're supposed to use a fresh one every day.
Well, he would every day, but he blew his nose several times a day.
Okay. Oh, God.
And I'm just like, that is the grossest thing I've ever heard of or seen. Yeah. Why would you do that to your own child?
No, Dad, thank you.
I'll good.
Just use my sleeve.
Exactly. I'd rather just
put that away.
Sniff.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nasty.
All right. All right, I'm going to toss some stones
turn.
here. I'm going to toss the stones. Tossing the stones. That's kind of Irish, so I'm predicting a green one will land.
All right, toss the stones.
I feel good about 2019. I'll be able to predict the colors, I feel like.
I doubt it.
I've got a green one coming.
I don't think so. It's yellow. So you were kind of close. Now, the yellow category is a random.
Random.
So would you rather, Rick,
Yes.
come face to face with a 10-foot praying mantis,
Those exist.
or a 5-foot wolverine?
Well, a praying mantis. 10-foot praying mantis.
Yeah.
I'll go with the praying mantis.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you're probably right.
I would still go with the 10-foot praying mantis over a 1-foot wolverine.
True, because wolverines are bastards.
They're assholes.
Yeah.
They'll rip you up.
They'll come at you.
But still, I mean, praying mantis, I suppose at 10 foot. When you think about it, that's higher than the ceiling.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here's
They'll
a
be
little
eating
piece of advice if you do run into a 10-foot praying mantis.
Go and drag if you're a dude.
If it's female, don't sleep with it.
No, but be in drag because
It will eat your head.
they'll think you're a chick, a woman, a dame, a broad. Are you allowed to use those terms anymore?
No,
Because I know women who use the word bitch,
I do all the time.
referring to each other, and it's just like, why can't I say dame or broad, but you could say bitch, which I think is so much worse than dame and broad, but I can't say any of that stuff.
You can't.
And I can't even say woman, because I say women, they go like, I don't know, there's some kind of secret label that they like. They won't tell us what it is.
They?
You? The women's?
I like they. They is good.
I don't know.
They works.
I don't know what all of that stuff is.
Okay.
Hey, how was your... we just got finished with the New Year's Eve.
We did.
The New Year's celebrations. How'd yours go?
That was earlier this
What'd
week.
you do? Anything good?
I did.
Yeah.
I went
Did you
to
do the pot?
I did do the pot.
I'm going to say the pot every episode in 2019.
Okay. I did do a little bit of the pot.
Really?
I did.
I was just kidding, and you don't have to admit it.
But just a teensy tiny bit of the
Uh-oh.
pot. And that was prior to going to a party in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
Same party I went to last year.
Countdown party? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Had a great time.
Did you see any Dick?
Wonderful.
Dick Clark, I meant.
Oh, nope. Didn't see any Clark.
He's dead, but sometimes,
I have
the
visions.
Dick Clark comes back. Yeah.
No.
Does the countdown.
There was no Dick, no Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to think about whether I saw Dick or not, though, because there are several people there that might have shown me. But it was a wonderful, wonderful party with great people. I live in the most amazing neighborhood, and everybody there is great people. They're all great people. And the hosts of the party, I'll go ahead and give you their first names, Chris and Greg. Amazing people.
Yeah.
Inviting us into their home.
Sure.
And then promptly kicking us out after New Year's. No, they didn't. They wanted to.
It's over. Get out.
They wanted to. No, they didn't. Had a fabulous time. Matter of fact, was feeling a little down, a little blue before I went, and was actually all day long kind of considering not showing up. And then I just made myself go, and once again had a fabulous time, and got to see some people I haven't seen in a while, like several weeks. Even though they're my neighbors, it's been cold and rainy, so nobody's been out, and I haven't gotten to see
Everybody's
them.
hibernating.
Hibernating,
Sure.
exactly, which is my favorite pastime of all.
Yeah, I mean, I like that.
So, yeah, that's what we did. And for the countdown, we all went outside and we lit sparklers, and we said a word of our intention for 2019.
What do you do with sparklers? You just kind of like whip them around in circles, right?
Or you just stand there and stare at them and go blind.
I remember the first time I saw someone actually throw one of them, I was like, oh, you can do that.
Do you want to know what my word of intention for 2019 is?
Would you just get one word?
Yes. We had to narrow everything we wanted to do in 2019 into one word.
I could guess what yours is, or I can give you one I think you should have. Which would you rather me answer?
Well, go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are.
That I think you said?
Tell me both, please.
The one I think you said was I have no idea.
That's more than one word, and that's not it.
I don't know.
What would you give me?
Acceptance.
That's kind of funny.
Is that what you said?
It was considered.
Uh-huh.
It was absolutely considered.
And it's not a personal thing. I would give that to anybody. I would give it to myself.
It's
need
one
it
I
for
was
me.
going to say.
Yeah.
But it's not what I ended up saying.
Okay. What did you say?
My word was a
Nookie.
hyphenated word.
Nookie.
No, you can't hyphenate nookie.
Okay.
My word was self-care.
That's 2 words.
It's hyphenated.
I don't care. Still 2.
Anyways, that was my word, self-care.
Okay.
What would your word be?
Acceptance.
Acceptance. I'll tell you, on New Year's Day, what
Yeah.
I've done for the last 3 years is I
Yeah.
go to my landlord's house for New Year's Day food and drinks and people coming by, dropping in, coming and going. And it's a lot of fun. And she hands out these little bags to everybody, little tiny little gift bags. And they have a tiny little plastic animal that's supposed to stand for whatever. And then there's a little word on a little card, and that's your word for the year. Last year, 2018, New Year's Day, my word was acceptance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mine was bootylicious.
You didn't get one.
Oh, sorry.
But this year, my word is adventure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I got a tiger.
Oh. I need acceptance. I think acceptance is good for everyone. I certainly I need it now, probably more than normally.
Yeah.
But for a lot of reasons. And yeah, so I think that might be mine for this year.
I could use a little acceptance in my life, which is why I absolutely considered allowing it to be my word.
I'll tell you what I did for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then a couple days afterwards, I went to my wife and I rented a cabin.
Where?
Up in North Georgia somewhere. White County.
Okay.
Boy, that's accurate.
Yeah.
White County, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
We were within a stone's throw from a nudist colony.
And you didn't invite me to just go along for the ride?
Do you know what Serendipity? Have you heard it? Serendipity
not.
Nudist Colony.
I've not.
I kept asking my wife if she wanted to go. It was too cold, though. I really don't think too many people would want to go. But I'm sure they had some events. But they were probably all indoor. I'm not a nudist colony person. I don't know that I could do it, but it's an interesting thought. I have a friend who went to a nudist beach. I don't think I could do that either. I like to keep my nudie in my pants.
All of the nudie in your pants?
I try to keep my nudie in my pants.
Unless you're drawing it. In which case you keep it on paper.
Yeah, you know, you never know. But okay, so we did a cabin. I was a little concerned about it. I've been to some cabins before that I didn't know anything about, and they turned out to be a bad experience. This was a good experience. We had a good cabin.
Good.
A little 2-person cabin.
Tell me
Kinda
about
fun. Took the pets.
Yeah, tell me
They
about
had
it.
a good time. Very secluded. Really cool. In sort of indoor. It was a enclosed porch hot tub.
Ooh.
Oh man, that was nice.
I saw some videos of you in the hot tub.
Huh?
That you
Who sold those? I didn't post.
You
Oh, I
posted.
did. I posted one. Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. We have a hot tub here in our house, but this one was bigger even. So yeah, that was fun. So I think we got up there. We spent a couple of hours, maybe, if that long, in the hot tub. Then we made
Like as soon as you got there?
pretty close afterwards.
Really?
Then we got out and made sandwiches. That's my New Year's Eve tradition is like hoagie submarine type sandwiches. Big.
Yes.
The more overdone, the better. I like to
Right.
just load them up.
Right.
Just make huge, gigantic sandwiches. I didn't go that extreme this year.
Because
Just-
you'd have to take it all with you.
yeah.
up there.
So we made smaller sandwiches, but still did the sandwiches. And the combination of the hot tub and the sandwiches knocked me out before 10 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sure.
I went to bed, didn't bring in the new year at all. I did get up like 2:30 in the morning, I think. And we took champagne up and didn't even open it up. Didn't even crack the champagne. So that's what I did, and it was kind of fun. I think it really was sort of no, not really, but kind of. My wife and myself, it was our first kind of getaway vacation. We've been on a couple little vacations, but it was the first kind of getaway
Yeah.
from everyone else vacation.
Yeah.
And it's up in the country, kind of interesting.
Did you have lots of sex?
Not a lot,
Okay.
a little bit.
A little bit. Just a
Yeah.
little bit of sex?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you go on a couple's retreat,
Yeah.
is you have sex.
But don't tell my wife.
Oh. Oh.
Just kidding.
So there was somebody that snuck out of the nudist colony?
I'm not saying. I did do something I wanted to talk about. You'd be very proud of me.
Okay. What'd you do?
Very unusual, very unlike me.
You got a job.
No. Acceptance. Acceptance. That's the word. Acceptance. I went to a wine tasting. I participated
In a wine tasting?
in a wine tasting, which I You know me.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of wine.
No, not really.
We went to a wine testing with some friends. Did I say testing? Wine tasting with some friends.
You are testing. You're tester tasting.
A couple weeks ago. I did not participate. I kind of wish I did now, but I didn't. And I think it was because of that I watched the process, and I thought, maybe I should do this, because you don't drink that much.
You really don't.
If you don't like it, you only have like 2 swallows, and it's done.
Uh-huh.
So we went to a different one. This was Yonah Mountain in North Georgia. Now, I've been there before. My wife and I have been there before. I think last Christmas we went by there and bought some wine. This was the first time we did a wine tasting.
Okay.
My first time ever.
How many did you taste?
So I got 5 glasses of taste. And she did too. So they have flights, So
Yes.
you can do the white flight, the red flight, or the mixed flight. And I believe I did the mix.
Okay.
And it was fun.
Did you find any good new wines that you want to share?
I don't remember names at all, but there was a white wine that I had. It was the first thing that I had, and I liked it a lot. I would actually buy it.
Can you tell me?
It was called like All-American White Wine, something like that.
So it wasn't like a Sauvignon Blanc. It wasn't
Just a white wine.
Viognier.
I don't know.
It wasn't a Chardonnay.
I don't know.
It wasn't a Fume Blanc.
And then my wife had a Merlot, and I tasted it, and I really liked it. Now,
Sure, you remember the type of red.
I tend to like Merlot wines. So anyway, of those 2 I liked. And there were other, she got a port wine, which was really sweet, very tasty. But of course, you can't do too much of that because it would
It's a little stronger.
very much. But yeah, so I was kind of proud of myself. Did a little wine tasting thing.
Good for you.
I'm still not a huge wine person. I'd probably been better if I did a beer tasting, but
I will tell you, in the airport, most airports these days, I think, at least, and I know for a fact at the Atlanta airport, there is a little wine store in the airport on the concourse, while you're waiting for your flight, where you can do that. You can buy flights of wine, and they have 6 or 7 options, but they're not like red and white and all white. And they have different, like, these are Australian whites, and these are, summer whites, and these are the butteriers, and these are the crispers, and these, all that. And I go there every time I'm at the airport.
yeah.
Every time. They also they serve, munchies and small lunch plates. I go there every time, and I spend like $50 every time I'm there, because I'll get a flight, and then I'll choose one from the flight that I like, and I'll get a glass.
You should do that with my wife one time. Go up, because you 2 would appreciate it. You're both wine people. You should go up and do a wine tasting with her. I think she's going to join some kind of little club or something where she can go up and get discounted, that kind of stuff.
I will hit her up about that.
You should, and I would be much better with beer, I think, maybe, or
I
whiskey.
would like to tell you a quick story.
I'd like to do a Scotch flight.
Oh, they do that. They do
I know.
Scotch tastings.
I know.
Yeah.
I can do it.
The first wine tasting I ever went to was at a place called the Whale's Tail, which is a restaurant at the Cook Hotel, the Captain Cook Hotel in downtown Anchorage.
Oh, really? Alaska? Whale's
Yeah.
Tail, Captain Cook? Sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Really.
That's a surprise.
Right. It's actually a very nice hotel, and a very nice little coffee wine bar is the Whale's Tail. And we went there, me and 3 girlfriends went there. And when they do a wine tasting, this is a 7-course wine tasting, because they also brought in the chef from the Crow's Nest, which is at the top of the hotel, to make small plates.
Okay.
7 courses.
Wow.
Every single course had 6 wines that you tasted with the food.
Holy crap.
We rolled out of there
That's dangerous.
3 hours later, and they would give you a half glass pour. So it was like a 4-ounce pour for every single, maybe 3-ounce pour for every single wine you were tasting.
No wonder there's so much alcoholism in.
Now, obviously,
Alaska.
when you're doing a tasting, most people don't drink the entire poor.
Most.
Our table sure as shit did.
Let's introduce you to Cheri.
We got, because this was like a $300 wine tasting.
Wow.
And
I'm licking the glass on that.
All four of us.
300?
Well, all four of us got in for $50. We got a deal. We got a special deal.
That's cheaper than wine over water.
Yeah. So we went in there, and I mean, as a matter of fact, one of the small plates was a small piece of salmon grilled with a special sauce with some jasmine rice on the side that was infused with lavender. I mean, the food itself, I would have just gone for the food, right? And that came with 6 different wines to taste with the food. And it was just amazing. And that was my first ever wine tasting experience. So I thought all wine tastings were like that.
Oh.
They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. That was probably a once in a lifetime thing for me.
So I watched Alaska State Troopers.
Oh my God, why would you do that?
I have no idea.
Blocked that show out.
I know. I've never done it, but I watched it the other day, and the guy, and I started watching it. I was just like, every time they go anywhere, it's always some drunk person.
Yeah.
The person's always just wasted. And the guy actually said 95% of the calls here are alcohol related.
They are.
It's crazy.
Alcoholism is actually a huge, huge problem in Alaska.
Yeah.
And it's for a number of reasons, and I don't want anybody to take offense to this because I did live there for 20 years, so I know what I'm talking about.
But when you left, the rate of alcoholism dropped drastically.
Fuck you.
I know that for a fact. I saw the books.
It was on Alaska State Troopers.
It was.
You know, when Cheri left, we all got vacations.
It's true.
No, it was the part of the reason is that Native Alaskans do tend to have a lower tolerance for alcohol.
Well, don't they say that about Native Americans?
Yes,
in general.
Yes,
and Alaskans are basically Native Americans.
Are Native Americans.
Yeah.
Just
with parkas.
The reason is that most Native peoples in the Americas were not exposed to European alcohol,
right,
for hundreds of years prior to when they were.
I always heard it had something to do with a gene, some kind of genetic. It was missing gene or something.
It's not a missing gene.
I don't know.
It's a gene that hasn't been weeded out yet.
Oh.
Essentially what it is Europeans and others who have been drinking alcoholic beverages for thousands of years.
The Irish
have essentially weeded out their tolerance level has grown, and it is genetic, what your tolerance level is, and Native peoples haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. So they do tend to have a lower tolerance for alcohol and alcoholism specifically. So what you'll notice and what you'll find in Alaska specifically is villages mostly around the coast of Alaska. They tend to be dry. No alcohol allowed in the village at all.
Like Alabama.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some southern states, they have counties that are dry, but you can still go to another county, buy it, and bring it home. You cannot do that in some of these villages. If you cannot bring alcohol into the village. Period. So and in my opinion, I mean, I think it's good because the younger people don't get exposed to it and become horrible alcoholics who die early, horrible deaths. But at the same time, you're almost just perpetuating what is already happening,
right? By
not allowing the exposure to happen. But apparently, the reason it's happening, the reason that the dryness in the villages is happening, is because the exposure it happens too quickly. And whole tribes could die out.
That's not cool at all.
It's not cool. It's really not cool.
Well, I mean, I know that the Native Americans have their own alcohol. They brew their own stuff and they have it.
Sure.
So I don't know how it all works. I really don't. But I just know that I have a theory, because I think anytime that you go anywhere where people are where the economy is not soaring, people tend to want to drown their sorrows in alcohol.
Like my house.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's West Virginia or New Mexico.
Or
doesn't
Southern
matter.
Australia.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
People are still going to drink a lot, and I think that maybe you go to a place like Alaska where certain locations jobs might be harder to find. It's just easier to just have a beverage or two. That's how you get through the weekend.
Well, there's
Maybe more than
also
a two.
the problem of when you live in Alaska, whether you're there for work or whatever the reason may be, or maybe you just love it. There's really not a whole lot else to do in the colder winter months.
Panning for gold.
In the colder winter months?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, no one else is doing it. No competition.
No.
And, of course, visiting Santa's castle is a big thing.
That's well away. That's actually in the North Pole, which is a good 12 hours from Anchorage.
Okay. Didn't know that.
There is a place called North Pole, Alaska,
change
by
my
the way.
plans next Christmas, but yeah, thanks for telling me.
There is a place called North Pole, Alaska.
I figured.
Yeah.
Well, good to know. Good to know.
But anyways, don't let that bring you down because, they're aware of the problem. They're doing all they can, they being, Alaska governments, doing all they can, and tribal governments, doing all they can to rectify the problem.
Rectify.
I like to say rectify.
The reason I mentioned, you said something about whale's tail, and I was watching Alaska State Trooper, and there was a whale that beached itself, and they said that is happening a lot. But I thought it was interesting because one of the, it was a native cop. And he was talking about the whales, and he said once these whales beach themselves, he said it's amazing because the locals and the wildlife will just gut the whole thing. They'll take the oil, they need the oil, so the locals will go and they'll take all the oil from the whale, and then the wildlife will take the food. And just like it's gone soon, quickly.
It won't anything like that. Subsistence fishing, is a big deal up there, and you have to have certain allowances to do so. But I tell you what, if a whale beaches itself, that's fair game.
Oh yeah,
and they need that.
Sure,
they live on that.
Exactly. It's you don't have to hunt for it. It's right there.
Right.
So they just go up and they pull it apart. They take dissect it basically. Take every single thing until there's nothing left.
Because it's all usable product.
Which basically happened to Sarah Palin.
Yep.
That was her career.
That's what happened when she beached herself.
Hey, here's what I would like to do. All right, I need you to put on your thinking cap. The cap of which you think.
Really? Can I tell a dad joke first? This is literally not a dad joke. Okay?
Then why are you telling it?
Wife goes to her husband and says, "I'm pregnant." Her husband says, "Hi, pregnant. I'm dad." Wife says, "No, you're not." See? Literally not a dad joke. Are you good?
No, I'm feeling a little nauseous. Like I might need to throw up. I need to vomit.
I promised I wouldn't tell a dad joke.
Okay.
All right. So my thinking cap is on now because you're not playing along. And here's my thinking cap. It is on.
Okay. Keep
All
that
right.
on through the whole thing. So here's what I would like to do, just as a recap with the thinking cap, just as a recap, I want you to think about the best things that happened, the best things that you enjoyed in Atlanta in 2018.
So many. So
many things here. And here's the thing. Now, not everybody who listens to the show from Atlanta, probably more people not.
Correct.
So, you might not know a lot of this stuff, but it's an introduction to you
and
about
mind
these
you,
stuff.
We don't do anything. We don't go anywhere.
Rarely do we go.
We don't.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to find that about half of this list is food.
Yeah.
Because we eat.
We eat a lot.
But you never know. You might business trip. You might plan a trip. You might plan a vacation. Come to Atlanta. Here's some tips for you.
You might buy yourself a want to get away ticket and come visit me, Lori.
That's right. But you never know. I mean, Atlanta's not a bad destination point. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to list our favorite 20 best things of Atlanta in 2018.
Yes.
20 best things. Right?
Right.
So I go with number 1.
That'll be mine.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Atlanta History Center.
I've been to the Atlanta History Center. Now, here's the thing. If you're here in Atlanta, there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yes.
lot of stuff to do.
So much stuff to do.
Now-
There's the aquarium. There's all kinds of places to go and see things. There's museums. There's,
Now, the Atlanta History Center is all kinds of history. It's got Civil War history, which is interesting because they have like actual Civil War things like uniforms and things like that if you're a Civil War buff.
And weaponry and shells and images and just physical things that were in the war, clothing, just, letters.
Photos.
Yes, all kinds of things.
Amazing stuff. And I enjoyed that. And there's another one just about...
And that is its own gallery all by
Sure.
itself in the History Center.
The thing about the History Center that I like is they have a lot of those little galleries.
They do.
So there's one that's just about general life in Atlanta.
And that's
Atlanta
their
area.
their main area.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Stories, Atlanta Stories or Gather Round area. And they go all from when Atlanta first started, which was well before the Civil War.
Yeah.
They talk about the fire. They talk about living in Atlanta back then. They talk about racism in Atlanta. They talk about how the arts in Atlanta came to be. They talk about everything. And there are interactive displays that you can obviously interact with. They tell a story. There's pieces from history there that are just amazing. It's like its own little museum is what it is.
Well, if you go to the part where it's just like life in Atlanta, it's really life in the South. And it's just fun to see what life in America was like back a long time ago. But I have to say that even though that's fun, I probably enjoyed the part more.
Okay.
The stuff about Atlanta now and or the last few years or whatever, I like that a lot better.
Yep. One of the new, I will tell you this right now. They're a client of the company I work for.
Oh.
And
disclaimer.
Sorry. And one of the funnest new displays that they've put on it's called, Atlanta Stories. And you can film your own Atlanta story. They have two little film boxes.
I've seen that.
You go in, and there are 6 huge displays on the wall that you can they're touch displays that you can just pick a story. You see somebody that looks interesting, you touch them, you get to hear their story, tell them tell it, or see them tell it, and then you can do your own.
Yeah.
And it'll be up there.
Yeah.
There's one up there from the Indigo Girls. There's one up there from Stacey Abrams. There's one up there from, all kinds of people.
I was trying to do one, and then they made me put my pants back on.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's mostly
Not
just
fair.
shoulders up anyways.
It's just not fair.
It's not like they would see anything.
Anyway, that is fun. It's one of the best things, and it was one of the best things of 2018 we did.
Yep.
Here's the thing close to my house. I recommend, there's not everybody has a need for this.
Okay.
Decatur in Atlanta. The Ace Hardware. It's in town Ace Hardware. Have you been there?
I've not been to that one because there's one by my house now.
I'm trying to think of where that is and what it's like. Okay, in town Ace Hardware. You can't get out of that place. Because it's not just a hardware store. It's got all this fun stuff in there.
Like what?
Little trinkets, soaps, all kinds of gadgets. If you like to barbecue, so many little. They sell grills, but then everything from hot sauces, popcorn, stuff to put on like rubs and
wow.
And then all kinds of gifts. They sell clothes. They sell jewelry. They sell oils, essential oils, incense, everything
At the Ace Hardware.
It's you can't get out. It's so much fun. Sit there and look at all of the stuff.
I'm gonna have to check that out. What street is that on?
It's Scott Avenue.
Okay, in Decatur.
Yeah, you know where the Walmart on North Decatur Road is like.
Our listeners don't.
Okay, well I'm just saying, do you know? It's right in that area.
Okay. I don't live by there, so.
Okay.
I don't
You
know.
should visit it.
I will visit it.
All right.
There's the number 3 is we've talked about this place.
Yeah.
Or at least what we do there.
A lot of the things on this list we've discussed before.
Right. So this is Grindhouse Killer Burgers.
If you're in Atlanta, eat a freaking burger at Grindhouse.
Yes, do it.
Here's the deal, though. We're vegetarian. We don't eat burgers.
That's right.
They have great burgers, but they have great vegetarian burgers, too.
They sell the Impossible Burger, and they do it
awesome.
right.
And you can finally eat, if you're a vegetarian, you can finally eat burgers with the big people.
You can sit at the big person's table.
That's right.
And you can have an Impossible Burger.
That's so good.
While other folks are having their meat burgers.
And
And something that Rick has discovered that he really loves
At
at
the
Grindhouse is their boozy shakes.
Boozy shakes. So they make these shakes. Now, they have, I don't know if all of them are breakfast cereals.
No.
But like I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I believe it's called Cinnamon Toast Crunk.
Yes, it is. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunk.
It's literally Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal ground up and put into ice cream with cinnamon alcohol. Holy crap, that's good. I love that.
It was very good.
Now
I did try yours. It was very good.
I really want to go now and get one.
We might have to.
But they have six maybe
different
5 or 6
flavors, and I don't know if they changed
They
them
have
out or not.
they have one called Monkey. It's got bananas and peanut butter. My
Right.
wife gets one. I can't remember what she gets, but it's just like so
She gets
good.
the coffee one. There's a coffee
Yeah.
one. I got the peach one because sometimes I like a little peach flavoring. So good.
Yeah, Impossible Burgers, boozy shakes, and it just smells good. I mean, burgers. They're grilling their burgers there. It's so good.
And the best thing is that there's a location close to your house, and there's a location close to my house.
Right, we can both go.
Yep.
So Grindhouse, make sure you do that.
Yep.
And they play really cheesy movies.
Oh, they do because it's Grindhouse. It's
Yeah.
Grindhouse theater. It's
Yeah.
it's they play the most horrendous Grindhouse movies.
One of my favorite things from Atlanta this year was the Atlanta Pride Parade. Now, you did not go.
I did not.
You're going this coming year. I'm dragging you.
I have a feeling you
I
are.
think it happens in, I remember, September, October.
I wanted to go.
If you want to see a party the way Atlanta does it, go to that.
Yes, do that.
I expected it to be a lot more political. I expected it to be a lot more gay. I expected it to be a lot
What
more...
is more gay?
I don't know. Just, it's pride.
It is. It's Pride.
The pictures that I've seen of Pride parades in, San Francisco, other places, seem to be, quote, more gay. This was more family oriented. And I know gays have family. I know. I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying it wasn't
so what
as
you're saying,
sexualized as I expected it to be.
you expected it to be more adult.
Sexualized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was very genderized, but not as sexualized as I thought. And whatever that means to you, I don't know. But I'm just saying it is an event, for the most part, you can bring your kids to.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Just hang out. It's a good, fun party. I'm going back. I loved it.
I miss it. I'm sorry I missed it this year.
It's of the big parades I've been to in Atlanta, it's the biggest one, and it was fun.
After seeing your photos, everybody will want to go. So tell people where they can find those photos on Instagram.
Oh, the photos?
Yeah. Most of those
I
you
think
have
they're on my Flickr account.
But you have that Instagram where you've posted several of them.
I've got
as
some
well.
of them on my Instagram. Rick Baldwin Photography, or something like that. I don't know. And then a Flickr account.
Yep.
But other people do too. You can look it up. It's fun. It was a lot of fun, and it's a big parade.
It's
I mean, you
huge.
could get food, you could get anything you want, and tons of people.
And do you know why I didn't go?
Yeah, you had your friend in town, and you all were doing something else. You didn't want to go out. You were like, I don't want to go out and fight traffic and stuff like that. But
I don't think she was here yet. But
she was. I remember.
Okay.
I was like, why don't you bring her? You would really like it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I missed it this year, but I won't miss it next year. Or
No.
I won't miss it now in 2019.
I'm going
missed it
to,
in 2018.
even if you don't go, I'm going to prod you until you go, because I really feel like you'll like it and you need to go.
I could use a good prodding.
Okay.
All right. So the other thing, the next one that we have on the list is, again, food-oriented.
Yes.
It is a little shop in Decatur by the square called Buttercream. And it is an ice cream store.
It's a homemade ice cream, right? Isn't it homemade?
I believe so.
Anytime we're like having a little bit of food out in Decatur,
Even if we get really full,
you got to go buy.
you got to go to Buttercream because you can just get a little 1-scoop cup, which I normally do because I've normally just eaten there somewhere.
Be prepared to stand in line. It's
Sometimes.
popular.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, I've never really been in there where there's more than 4 people in front of me.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like Clumpy's was in Chattanooga.
Every time I go, it's almost out the door.
Huh. Interesting. But they have flavors like my favorite flavor that I've had there is their brunch flavor, which is basically it's got flavors of maple syrup. It's got flavors of bourbon.
Yeah.
And there was no like bacon. I think that's what the maple was after. But it was
I remember
like French
bacon,
toast.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Bacon
so
maple or something.
good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Oh, now
it's called
some ice cream.
Sunday brunch is what it's called.
Buttercream. Make sure you go if you're in Atlanta. It's in the Decatur section, which is East Atlanta. Go grab you some ice cream.
Yep.
Bring the kids. It's good.
So the next one is also
Yours.
mine.
This was your experience. I don't particularly do this.
This is the second year I've been.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you went before.
Yeah, I went last year too.
Okay, we talked a little bit about this on the show.
Around Halloween of 2017, I went with my friends Adam and Jess.
Okay.
And then I went this year again with them and some of their family, as well as my friend Rashawn, who was visiting, the stalker. And we had an absolute blast because the last
Well, let's
year...
tell what it is first.
It's a haunted house. It's the haunted house.
We haven't mentioned the name, I don't think.
It's called Netherworld.
Netherworld. Yeah.
And it is the haunted house. It is...
In Atlanta.
Well, it's known all around the South.
They did a Christmas thing.
They did, and I didn't get to go.
I
didn't get to go. But so in 2017 when I went, they were at their location that they've been at for 20 whatever years or however long it's been. This year it was their first year at their location here in Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was great. They didn't have as much outdoor stuff in the front area because it is a business area, and I guess it's year round. They didn't want that stuff out there year round, but the way they did it.
Wait. Netherworld is year round?
I believe I don't know if it's year round or not, but some of the items that they had at their last location that were out front, they're huge pieces.
Right.
It's not like you can just take those down.
Okay.
So they would be staring at businesses all year.
All right.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But what they did is they had a genius idea is they have one or two different haunted houses, and you go through one, and then there's an outdoor area with food and drinks and things where they put all that stuff.
Right.
So you get to see it through there, and it was enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to speed this up just a little bit because
we're kind of going off on a tangent.
We got a lot to cover. All right, this next one is mine. This is kind of a personal favorite. No one will care except for me. It's one of my favorite things about Atlanta. It's always one of my favorite things about Atlanta, and it was definitely my favorite thing about Atlanta in 2018. And I thought this was everywhere. If you go to Whole Foods on Ponce,
across from Ponce City Market,
they have chicken fried tofu.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Now, if you're not a vegetarian, if you don't like tofu, I don't care. Try it. It's so good. You'll love it.
So good.
It'll change your mind. I thought it was everywhere. I've tried it at the Whole Foods in Chattanooga. Sometimes good, sometimes not. We have a new Whole Foods here in Stone Mountain, Tucker area. Mm-hmm. They don't even have it. So you got to go to this place. Now, you would expect that people in Atlanta would know how to make fried chicken. So I just picture some grandmother making this because it tastes just like fried chicken.
Just like your grandmother's fried chicken.
Fried chicken was always my favorite thing before I became vegetarian. Mm-hmm. Now I can have it.
You can have the flavor.
Chicken fried tofu.
It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't
really
know how they
good.
do it. They probably put chicken pieces in it. I don't know that.
Let's hope not.
But it's so good. That's one of my favorite things. And as far as I know, you can't just only get chicken fried tofu at the Whole Foods.
Well, of course, you can get all
But
kinds.
I think it's the best.
Okay.
That one has the best.
I may have to go out of my way on my way home to get some.
Yeah. Bring me some.
So my next one is just in general, and I'm just going to list a few things about what I love about this next one, which is Grant Park.
Yeah.
Okay, I live in the Grant Park area.
It's your neighborhood.
It's my hood. But the park itself is what I'd like to talk about, because the park itself is not that far from my house, just a few blocks. And I go there and I go for walks through that park. The park is huge. If you happen to be online and you want to look it up, look on a map and see how big that park is. They have when they have festivals there, which I love going to festivals there, they can have upwards of 5 or 6 different stages in that park for live music events. And you won't hear the other one.
Wow.
That's how big that park is. They have an Olympic-sized pool. They have a rec center. They have a gazebo that people use for events. They also have a pavilion that people use for events. Mm-hmm. We've done charity walks through Grant Park. One of my favorite things to do on a Sunday is walk up to the Grant Park Farmers Market and walk through there.
Buy a couple of farmers.
Well, not the farmers themselves.
Maybe one of them's name is Red.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Red the farmer.
There you find amazing, yummy things there.
Isn't that where the zoo is?
The Zoo Atlanta is in Grant Park.
Wow.
That's how big the park is. The Atlanta Zoo is in Grant Park, and they're expanding it.
Wow.
Right now, and they have been for about a year and a half.
Bigger elephants, bigger giraffes.
They're going to have giraffes. They're going to have all kinds of things.
Nice.
Just much, much bigger zoo. And there's still plenty of park to enjoy. Mm-hmm. And the art festivals there are pretty great. So
Nice.
yeah, Grant Park, shout out.
Next on our list is a place you and I have both been to, and at different times. Mm-hmm. We both like it. It's a place called Murphy's. It's in Virginia Highlands, right?
It is. It's across from La Tavola.
Yeah, which also, that place is great. Mm-hmm. Try out Murphy's because it's got great atmosphere. It's a cool little building, very southern, kind of little southern.
Yeah,
you feel like you're eating in some southern
mansion.
Yeah,
it looks very high class on the inside.
I had breakfast there. As I recall,
dinner.
I had I don't think it was alcoholic. Maybe it was. Because I feel like there's Bailey's in it. I don't know. It was coffee with a bunch of stuff in it, and it was really good coffee. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the breakfast was good. So I've only had breakfast there. I haven't had dinner, but you've had dinner.
I did. I had the salmon dish. Unfortunately, the thing about Murphy's that I did find, because I wasn't familiar with it when we went there, we were going to go to La Tavola, but the wait was too long. So I said, let's check out Murphy's. And we did. And we loved it. It was great. Not a lot of vegetarian options.
That's true.
So I had the salmon.
Which is kind of rare in Atlanta.
Agreed. Most restaurants here do have options for both vegetarians and sometimes vegans.
Yeah. But not Irish restaurants.
No, not really. So she had the brisket and I had the salmon. Both were very yummy and scrumptious. And portion sizes are great. And the wine selection is amazing.
Oh.
It's if you want to go out for a nice dinner, that's the place to go.
Murphy's. Mm-hmm. And Virginia Highlands is a cool place to hang out anyway.
It is.
All right, so our next little choice. Now, here's the thing. This is kind of something that it's sort of not a competition, just different experiences. You had one, I had one. We both listed it as one of our favorite things of 2018. Mm-hmm. So we're both going to do it. I'm going to let you do this one because this one's yours. Okay,
so I'm not big on live music.
Yeah, I'm getting less big on that.
Live music causes my social anxiety to just skyrocket.
Okay.
But the friends I was telling you about who hosted the New Year's Eve party invited me because they had extra tickets to go see, oh my God, Erasure.
Yeah.
At a place called the Tabernacle. Which is an old church which has been turned into a music venue.
And everybody in the world has played there.
Everybody.
Sting.
Sting was there after I went.
I know. Flogging Molly, I saw them there.
Pet Shop Boys were there.
Oh, good heavens, I would have loved to see that show.
Yeah.
I love the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah. So amazing venue. Mm-hmm. The stairs are very steep.
Yeah.
The seating area made me very nervous. But boy, once, but I was surrounded by wonderful friends. And once the music got started, it's just a perfect venue. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. There's a bar on every level. It was perfect.
Erasure, huh?
I love Erasure.
Good show.
Yeah.
Well, mine is kind of the same thing. I had a concert experience, and I think we both talked about it here on the show before. I saw Dust Bowl Revival at Eddie's Attic. Eddie's Attic is a popular spot for more kind of folksy kind of bands.
It's a little bit smaller
Americana kind of bands, and usually like solo artists. Mm-hmm. Dust Bowl has like 6 people in it. Mm-hmm. They're all crammed on this little tiny stage. My wife had never seen them live. I think it might have been my first time seeing them live. I can't remember.
No, you'd seen them once before, but anyway.
I don't know, but she was kind of blown away, and it was a great show. And then they come out and they stood on the bar and did their last couple of songs.
Oh, that's
They went out into
awesome.
the audience and they played and got everybody singing and they were dancing on the bars and stuff. It was fun.
Tell us what kind of music Dust Bowl Revival is.
It's they used to be really kind of bluegrass, and then they moved into more kind of Americana. But they have roots in it. Well, I would say Americana, but it kind of country bluegrass, that kind of type stuff. If you like string bands,
And talking about Eddie's Attic, tell us what kind of a venue Eddie's Attic is if they're not having a live music
Well,
event.
that's what I was saying. It's mostly for solo artists or smaller bands, which is weird because I've seen a couple of big bands there, but the stage is pretty small. They get pretty cramped.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a great concert for this year.
Cool. Now let's move on because, like you said, you want to speed it up a bit.
You and I both will agree on this.
And this has been one of my favorite things about Atlanta for years is the Georgia Ren Fair.
Yeah.
It's in It's in Fairburn, so it's
Yeah.
not actually in Atlanta.
Yeah, some of this stuff is sort of on the outskirts of Atlanta, but we'll call it Atlanta.
We'll call it Atlanta because when I used to live even 3 hours away, I would drive down every weekend to go to this. So I love it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in 2018, I only went twice.
It happens sometimes. I
It
think
was
that's
just
that's about what I did too, maybe.
Yeah. Now, again, the Georgia Ren Fair is probably my favorite I've ever been to out of all of them. And I've been to Maryland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, Carolina was awesome, too.
I like Carolina. I've been to Maryland. Maryland's my favorite, but I will say Georgia. It's a destination Ren Fair. If you like Renaissance fairs, save up, come bring the kids.
Yes.
And hotels in that area are going to be pretty cheap.
Yep.
Or camp out. Just go.
They do
See
have
it.
camping areas.
It's fun. It goes from April till what? June or
It's
July?
normally from tax day or thereabouts, tax weekend, to the first weekend in June.
Okay. And it's fun.
It's a total of about 6 weeks.
Yeah. So do it. Come
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
It's a great Ren Fair. We both love it. Okay, next one, also an experience we both like. This is the best, my pick anyway, for best cocktail in Atlanta, the Mr. Miyagi.
I'm not gonna dispute that.
Again, in the Decatur section, Mr. Miyagi, go to Brush Sushi.
Yes.
It's a Japanese restaurant, Brush Sushi, and Mr. Miyagi is. We had some friends who wanted us to meet at a restaurant out in Decatur. So we were there. We were at an Italian restaurant. And so we were just talking and eating food. And then after it was over, I told my wife, I said, let's go, because she was with her mother. And I said, let's take your mom to have a Mr. Miyagi. And the people who took us out was like, that's the best cocktail. So we all knew and agreed. It's the most unique tasting cocktail I've ever had. And if you're in the area, you should try it.
Even if you just go in just for that, which I did because we had our friend Doug in a pub here,
Yep.
and we had just finished having dinner, and we walked over just so we could try this cocktail. It is
Sesame-infused vodka with wasabi and ginger liqueur.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
All those ingredients. It's very Asian, very Japanese. And when you think about it, you think, "Ooh, that might kind of taste so good." Oh, it's the best thing.
so good. So good.
It's like, it's so woodsy.
Yes, it does have, because of the ginger and the sesame, but it's served, it's shaken and
Yep.
it's served in an almost martini glass, but oh, so good.
Yeah.
Now I know I have to make a stop on
I'm going to get another one at some point soon.
Okay, so the next one is yours because I didn't go this year.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not. I went, I've only been once.
I believe this happens in April, the Dogwood Art Festival, which is one of my favorite events. It's one of the first things I ever went to when I moved here. My wife took me.
And you took me the next year.
Yeah, and it's just out on, was it Piedmont Park?
It's in Piedmont Park.
Tons and tons and tons and tons of artists showing their artwork. And it's in a park. And you go and you have beer and walk around and you just see lots of art.
There's normally 250 something artists there.
And you got to do a lot of walking around to see it. Everybody's
Yes.
got their little exhibits and some amazing stuff. And you get to see all different kinds of art.
They come
One of my
from
favorite
all
things.
around.
It's, as I recall, it's free to go. But yeah, I mean, where can you take the family to go see stuff for free around here?
And it's in a beautiful park.
It's gorgeous.
Piedmont Park has views of downtown and Midtown, and it's just beautiful.
And the music happens, and there's things to eat, things to drink. There's events for kids. They have face painting. They have events for kids. It's just so much stuff to do. It's one of my favorite things to do.
And if you go to the first place we mentioned, which
And
is the
support
Atlanta History Center, they talk about the actual original Dogwood Festival.
Oh, wow.
Which was a festival where they'd have the Miss Dogwood, 19 whatever, and that's kind of what the Dogwood Art Festival was started by.
Cool.
Yeah, so pretty great.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay, next place is also a food place.
We eat a lot.
Now, you haven't even been to this place, and you got to do it.
I've seen it.
This is kind of a secret little place. I didn't know this place existed. It's called Recess. It's in Krog Street Market. It's you wouldn't think anything. It's just like a little tiny deli almost. And it's the graphics and the menu. It looks like it's all handmade and everything. I don't know. It looks very raw, stripped down. I thought it was a vegan restaurant at first. It's not. They have chicken and some other stuff. But the stuff that I had and how it is prepared is so unique and so flavorful. I think I had a grilled cheese sandwich. I want to say it didn't have cheese in it. That may be wrong. There was something about it that was different, though, than normal grilled cheese. And I couldn't taste the difference. It was amazing. It had one of the great, just really, really fantastic taste. So I think I had something else that I tried there. Great food. Whoever the chef is, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, and again, it's kind of fast food, little deli kind of food. The Croc Street Market's fun anyway. Go there.
Yeah,
hang out.
absolutely.
Got a great beer store there.
And they got a neat chocolate
tons
place.
and tons of different kinds of beers from all over the world. But the Croc Street Market is a lot of mostly restaurants of all different types. And this one, it's just kind of hidden over in the corner. And you might not think anything about it, but the food is great. It's called Recess. If you're in Atlanta and you're in that area, go.
Okay, the
Give it a
next
check.
one is yours as well.
Oops.
And could possibly be mine at some point.
Okay, we got 2 puppies.
Yep.
We got to do something with them.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
They go to daycare and sometimes boarding, and they go to a place called Kirkwood Bark and Lounge. And this place is awesome. You can watch your dogs. They got television or cameras.
They have webcams.
Whatever. Yeah, and
Yep.
you can watch what's going on with your puppies. They get to go outside. They can play. They do have kennels if they're going to stay overnight. But our dogs, anyway, love it there. They love the staff. And a lot of times they will post pictures of your puppies on Instagram so you can kind of see what they're doing. And it's just friendly people. It's a great location in Kirkwood, and we just like it. They've been to some other doggy daycares and doggy camps, which are fine, but we haven't liked them as much as Kirkwood. Kirkwood is kind of our favorites right now.
Well, and you've been trying to get me to take Toffee there because she definitely needs the exercise.
She needs to go at
the socialization.
when my dogs are there. So there's like dogs there that she knows.
Dog friends.
Yeah, she's got some buddies there.
Unfortunately, I drove past it today, and from my house to do that before I go to work, I don't even think they're open at that point.
I think they have a couple other locations, but the one in Kirkwood, it fills up sometimes. That's how popular they are. That's how good they are.
Well, good for them. Good for them. And I love the idea of the webcams to let you check in on your animals.
You can watch them. I get to watch my dogs sleeping because that's what my dogs do.
Well, not your dog.
All right, we're getting close to the end, people.
All right, so the next one, Sublime Donuts. Now,
I have not had any.
I am not a humongous donut fan. So when I'm craving a donut, I want it to be heavenly. I want it to be fluffy and gooey and interesting. I don't just want a glazed donut. I don't just want an old-fashioned. I want something fun.
Yep.
So Sublime Donuts, there might be a couple of them, but the one I'm aware of is the one in Brookhaven, which is close to where I work. And you can get, 2 dozen donuts for not very expensive, because donuts really don't cost that much.
Right.
But if I'm going by myself, I just get one, of course.
Sure.
Maybe 2.
Sometimes
but they
5.
have a Fruity Pebbles donut.
What?
They have...
I'm there.
Yeah, they have all sorts of super neat flavors.
Do they have any donuts made with the pot?
Unfortunately, no, because it's not legal.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's
Georgia?
true.
Yeah, so I assume that as soon as it becomes legal in Georgia,
Sublime pot donut.
they may sell pot donuts.
They may not like us saying that. Sorry, Sublime.
But Sublime Donuts is head and shoulders above any other donut shop in Atlanta.
Oh, wow, that's saying a lot, because Atlanta has some good donut places.
In my opinion.
Okay, got to try them out now.
Yep.
All right, next little place. You and I both have hung out there, Atlantic Station, which is downtown Midtown Atlanta, which is great because you could go see a movie. It's kind of like a little square where you got a lot of shops. Yeah,
lots of shopping.
There's a little area where kids can play. I think, can you play like golf there or something?
Something like that. You'll find though Atlantic Station is like Krog Street Market for people with more money.
Yeah.
It's and I'm not going to say anything bad about Krog Street Market.
I will. No, not Krog Street. I'm going to say one thing bad about Atlantic Station.
I know you are. But like Atlantic Station has my favorite movie theater to go
Yeah.
see movies in. They have a 21 and only section where they have a little bar. They have, the shops there are high-end shops.
Yes.
The restaurants are really good.
Very
I've been
good
to
restaurants.
a couple of different restaurants. They're
Yeah.
really good stuff. And there's parking underground. So
Yeah.
so you get in, you park, and you just walk around, and it's like you're in a little tiny
I think
downtown neighborhood.
There's a MARTA station. You can ride the train
You
in
can
if you
ride
want
the
to,
train
which
there.
is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
My only problem is I was taking photos there, and the dude told me to quit. Security guard was like, "You can't take pictures here."
And I disagree. I mean, I'm not disagreeing that happened. I'm disagreeing with him. I think that it's a public place, and you should be able to take.
It's not, though. They own it, so they have a right to say who can and can't take pictures. But I think he was kind of being a jerk.
Okay.
I don't know why I can't take pictures. And I was just like, oh, so if I had a cell phone, I could do it. He wasn't being, he was trying to be nice, but he was doing his job. So I wasn't going to press it too much because I didn't, but I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I said, what if I had a phone? How do you know? And he was like, well, you can't take it with those kind of professional kind of photos or cameras because I, had my nice little camera. But it's like a picture's a picture. Who cares?
Who cares if you? Anymore. Sometimes you can't hardly tell if it was taken on an iPhone
A lot of times,
or a
the
Pixel
iPhone
for that
quality is
matter.
better.
Yeah. So, anyways, Atlantic Station is fun if you want to come to Atlanta
It's
and
an
do
adult
some
playground.
shopping.
Grown-ups. A playground for the grown-ups.
If you've got $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket, and you want to go to some higher end shops,
Yeah.
go to Atlantic Station.
Got a good furniture store there.
Yeah.
We saw some coffee tables we wanted. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go check it out. And there's some other places close by that you can walk to that are really cool. And in the same kind of genre, it's sort of a neighborhood kind of thing, but very, very different.
Very different.
Very, if you like the alternative scene.
Yes.
If you like the eclectic. If you like
A little bit of grunge.
freaks. I'll go ahead and say it because there's a lot of freaks there, including me. I enjoy hanging out there. Little 5 Points in Atlanta.
It's probably one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, bring some protection, people.
They have some of my
because-
favorite restaurants. They have some of my favorite shops. They have some of my favorite people watching
Oh
opportunities.
yeah. Well, every time I've been, there's a street rapper who always wants to rap. He'll make up a song for you. You give it to him. So here's this guy, and he was like, "I'll do a rap song for you if you'll pay me whatever, like $5." I'm there here with my wife, and I was like, "Okay, here's your $5." And he starts going on, and I don't know. I thought it was just going to be some rhymes, but he started with the bitches and the motherfuckers and all that, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like real street rap." I thought it was going to be family rap.
No.
But he did the authentic rap there. And, Atlanta is probably the rap capital of the world. And he was doing his street stuff. But you could go there and you see there are a lot of unique and eccentric people. But there's also some fantastic restaurants, some very interesting little boutique shops.
Yes, I love the little boutique shops.
You can buy some stuff there that you can buy no place else. And consignment stores and just, I think there's an Indian restaurant, Asian restaurant. There used to be a vegetarian restaurant. It closed.
There's a few theaters. There's,
live music there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean movie theaters. I mean
I know.
stage theaters.
Yeah.
There's improv that happens there all the time.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun, artsy kind of.
And there's a pot store. That's a store that, pot's not legal.
Nope.
But they sell pot paraphernalia and the oil. What is the oil?
CBD.
They sell that oil.
Because that's legal.
It's right next to the police station. It's so
Yep.
funny because you got the police station and the pot station right next to each other.
Right next to each other. And as soon as pot is legal,
Yeah.
THC, is legal in Georgia, that store is
Ready.
definitely going to become a dispensary.
Don't bring the kids.
Nope.
Unless they're older and you don't mind them seeing things. It's okay.
Well, I think it can be kid friendly. Little 5.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying there's total
Debauchery happening. No.
It's more of an adult little hangout, though.
Just if you do bring the kids, keep an eye on them.
Like the Halloween thing goes on there.
The Halloween parade.
I think they do a St. Patrick's Day parade or something. But it's a street. They do a couple street parties there a year, and
They block it off.
yeah, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Traffic through there is a bitch, though.
All right, I promise people we're winding it down. This is the last one. This is the 20th best thing of Atlanta in 2018.
And guess what? It's food oriented.
It should be, as it should be. There's a lot of places in Atlanta to have breakfast, a lot of places to have brunch. My wife and I try them out all the time. I really wouldn't want to say any of them are the best.
Okay.
There are some of them we prefer over others. But the one that's kind of consistent that we go to a lot, partially because it's fairly close to our house, but partially just because it's great breakfast, is a place called Goldberg's. It's a deli. I guess they would even call it a Jewish deli.
Okay.
You can buy a lot of kosher foods. You can buy bagels. You can buy the traditional kind of Jewish foods. And it's in a center or a part of town, I think, that serves a lot of the Jewish community here in Atlanta. And this deli does as well. And you could get a kosher breakfast, but you could get they have fantastic grits. They've got great omelets. It's just a good place for breakfast. And then they have other things other than just breakfast. So you can go and have a burger and stuff too. But it's one of my favorite places for breakfast. So Goldberg's Deli, breakfast, best breakfast in 2018 in Atlanta, in my opinion.
I'll be honest with you guys, if you're still listening, because it's been a hot minute. If you're still listening, if you want to come to Atlanta, one of the things that you have to remember is while you're here, you're going to be eating a lot. And
you should.
Because Atlanta, if you are a foodie, if you are the type of person that always loves to try new restaurants and eat new foods, Atlanta is the place to be. There are so many good restaurants and so many different kinds of restaurants here in Atlanta. It's definitely a food lover's dream.
Yeah.
So obviously you and I are fine here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to eat. Yeah. And so much to do. There's things we didn't mention about Atlanta. Maybe next year we'll mention those. These are the things we consider our favorite things of 2018. And hope we didn't bore you
too much
if you're not an Atlanta person. But
all of you people that want to come and visit us, now you have lots to look forward
to do. And even if you don't want to, because we're not even on the list of one of the best things in Atlanta. So
well, we're not yet.
No.
I
think our podcast is, though.
Yeah, but we'll never be.
This Epic Disaster, the best podcast in
Atlanta.
If you'd like to find out about This Epic Disaster podcast, all you got to do is go to Facebook, because there's a This Epic Disaster Facebook. There's also a regular website, thisepicdisaster.com. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. You can contact us at thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Tell us what you hated about this show. We want to know what you did not like. But we also want to know what you did like. And if you have a lot of things about it that you did like, wherever you subscribe, wherever you download the podcast, please leave us a review. Leave us some stars. That's all we ask.
That's all we ask.
We give you this for free.
Yeah, we don't ask for anything.
We only want one payment back, and that would be that. But we also, we'd love for you to come hang out with us. We love that when you do that. So
if you want to be a
and
guest
hang out
on the show, let us know.
For whatever reason, if you feel like you should be
If you just think that you want to come chat, let us know and we'll work it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we come out every Monday. This Epic Disaster is a Monday podcast.
It is.
Weekly podcast, but we come out on Monday so we can lift your spirits.
For the week. So let's talk about this beer that we've been drinking, which is, you've clearly been drinking.
What?
I just always like to say that. I'm feeling it myself. I didn't happen to notice until just now that it is an 11.8%
really?
alcohol by volume.
Okay.
Which is good. And it's actually the flavor profile that I tasted when I first drank it and I did my little chicken arm plant.
Yeah.
It's the same. It hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't.
It is amazing. It is definitely bourbon barrel aged, and in this case it's Buffalo Trace bourbon barrel.
Okay.
It is probably one of my favorites. It's however, the flavor, it's so rich.
Yes.
It is so rich.
Yes.
There's a lot of flavor there, and I don't know that I could have more than one.
I was going to say this may be the first time I ever I deduct points for too much flavor.
Are you serious?
Why
would you do that?
I'm giving it a 3.5. I cannot drink more than what I've drink now. It has too much flavor. When I first drank it, I was joking and said it's candy. It's got a lot of sweet to it. It's got an aftertaste that reminds me a little bit of candy, but more than anything, it's very buttery. It's that kind of taste that you would taste in a dish that's so rich, that's got butter and sugar and stuff that you can't ignore. Now, and two, from what I understand, because I'm drinking a little at a time, I think it's still hanging on to the carbonation. So it's got all of the great things that a beer should have. I just can't handle this kind of flavor. Now, if you can, you're going to absolutely love this beer.
And keep in mind, this is a lager wine.
Yeah, that could be it. Now, we'll say, I mean, the taste, the general taste, I love. It's that bourbon barrel taste, and I really like it. And I like a lot about it. I would dial down the taste if it were me. You know, they say this one goes to 11. I think this one goes to like close to 20. So they could lose about 10 points of flavor if they wanted to. But, you know, they're not aiming this at me. They're trying to get normal, regular people who love flavor. So this might be the beer for you. I'm going to say 3.5 because it is a great beer and good flavor. It's just too much for me.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm pretty pleased with this here beer.
And it's a dad beer.
It's totally a dad beer.
Jeez.
And because it's a dad beer,
no, I wasn't.
I have one more joke. And that joke is, there are two kinds of people in this world. Those who can extrapolate from incomplete data.
Uh-huh.
Get it? Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up because people are done listening. There's nobody listening
No
at this
one
point.
cares.
No one is
cares.
listening right now. I know that.
Drink your beer, people. We'll see you next week on this show, This Epic Disaster.
This Epic Disaster.
Please make a resolution for the new year when we post this podcast on Facebook that you
hit like
repost it.
and repost.
You can hit like. We'd love for you to. Just share it with your friends. It doesn't cost you anything. Just share it with your friends. Tell your friends about us. We would love to have more people to come in and give us a listen. We got some new things planned for this year. We'll be sharing those with you in the upcoming shows. Right now, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to try to finish this tasty, tasty beer and wrap up our day.
Talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.